I feel my height just feels short today, and I would rather not talk over my height being shortened around the landlords, other people using the gate key. Yeah, well, I get it that if the door was open, but the landlord who opened the door for me, uh, I couldn't see who it was. I don't know who it is. It's nobody that I think I've seen before. I didn't have my glasses on, or the other pair. I went out with no glasses, and I'm not full height. And I think I just felt short, like my legs weren't long enough to keep up with the way that I was talking about how I had keys to open the door. So I wanted him to know that I could have opened it for myself anyway, if he didn't open it for me and hold it for me. Or after he did open the door for me, I can also open it for myself next time, but I feel like my legs aren't long enough to really speak English. I don't really want to speak. He didn't really demand like that I have to speak, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be alive. It doesn't feel, the same as before when it was. I just don't want to be alive. You see, maybe how he's here and has a gate key. Does he not have an office key? Because he has a gate key, but he doesn't have an office key. Okay, I would not be in an office and give out a gate key and not give out an office key. The office key and the gate key go together. If you have a gate key, you have an office key. That's due. I don't have the office key, but that's probably what you would expect, is that I would have the office key and I would have all the keys to all the apartments and have the key to the apartment I live in. And the whole place would be just for myself and for my, devotees, people who believe in me as being God deceased. And then I know they wouldn't live here because you can't live with God deceased. You have to be, financially independent from your father. I am myself financially independent from myself. I am, I don't know, mutilated genitals on the father. Father doesn't have genitals, but I have mutilated genitals on the father. And I am financially, independent that way from father. You know who else I have to be financially independent from? People who say that they're parents, but I am the father. I am my own parent. I can't be more independent than it's just not alive. So I was gonna play a song while I cook, but I'm late here. It was not on. Okay, it's steaming now. I gotta go. Okay, fluid comes up. Cut here. Okay. DiGiorno frozen pizza. You don't make fresh pasta. I need DiGiorno brand and a new kind of packaging. Packing. Okay. There's a longer tongue, so I'm going to use the short one. And then I'm going to need something to get these out because they're not raviolis. I need a basket that's made out of, I don't know, stainless steel. And it has a handle, and it goes in and you can lift up many of them at once. I have heartburn just saying it, so I'm going to leave that out. Ooh, I just got some on my hand. But that's what's wrong with the camera. Yep. The water is hot, and I don't want it on my hand. Caitlin, is Kellen the outcome of a pregnancy? Because you're an outcome of a pregnancy, and you didn't solve that before there was Kellen, Khellen. Savannah, oh yeah, that's the middle name. Kellen Savannah. I wonder if that has anything to do with Debbie Weigler. Debbie Weigler, did you go to Savannah, Georgia? I heard she went to Emory University, which would be where? It's in Georgia somewhere. Maybe nearest Atlanta, but who knows, right? Anybody else need their babysitter to go to university to study to be financially independent from their parents? Yeah, I'm not your mom and dad. I'm also not born fully grown. I'm not Debbie Weigler. Let's just say that. No, she's an elated glee bag. She's a glee bag. Okay, that's it for now. So 4 minutes. Do we still want it on 7? Yes, we do. Okay. Do I still want it on 7? 6. Okay, 6. I forgot there's we this way to you. But to me, we is this way. So, what can I tell you? I don't look full height, and it doesn't feel like I can take it much longer. So, if I'm in the, emergency that God made my heights small or shorter, then what makes him think I could be alive? Yeah, I don't know. What is this about? Growing my height and shrinking my height. I don't afford it either way, but I grew and then I lived that way for a long time. Yeah, but I am in order. I don't actually grow, that I am threatening. Just because I consume something like I ate food in front of you and I drank water and I went out of my house and back in. Um, that doesn't mean that I am any different. I am eternal and I'm always the same. And it's true that I don't afford your money. I don't actually afford that you think that I am in the commissions with you because I am here. Why are you so close to me that you think that way so that you don't get angry and panic and upset me? But you do speech offending that's not paid for. That's not a clean way for you to be close to me where you're not panicking that you're alone in the wrong and you don't know how to be yourself. And you're not allowed to panic attack myself. Wouldn't it be funny if you come to me in the afterlife and you panic attack myself and I'm deceased and there's nothing moving, like no house keys, no car keys, and I'm just sitting there deceased, and then you know who I am that way. Yes, but you don't know. The panic inside yourself was me elsewhere's. Yep, you panicked myself in my life, and that's not going to pay for that. You were due to panic yourself, but you're not due to panic myself about yourself. Refrigerate unused portion. Best used within 5 days of opening. Do not microwave the jar. Okay. Best before July 29th of 2026. Make it a meal with one pasta box. Well, I ate half the box already. It did come with one, but it's not Barilla. Is it Barilla? Oh, let me look at the box. Okay, that's going to be done pretty soon, but I think you can wait. The cheese looks like it's coming out. Okay, yes, this is not Barilla. This is Kroger. I got a box of pasta. I didn't know what it was for. I opened it and used half of it. This says you can use this with a box of pasta. This is a box of pasta, but the brand is different. This is Kroger, and this is Barilla. Okay. Sometimes Charles Cho would open things that were not able to be opened by myself. Now there's no one for that problem. If I can't open something, I will have to go without and throw it out. And that's not the out I need. The out I need is that you're in the supermarket and you evacuate the supermarket like it's on fire. Get out of the supermarket so I can get something else that doesn't need restaurant food. Is this done? Does that look done to you? I think I had one that was underdone. Yeah, that looks done. It's done. Yes, the tongs are like a dog's snout. The dog's snout is like tongs. If it's a big dog, right? Okay. I'm gonna have to eat something. So, what do you think about my family? Do you think my family has any mind invested in myself? Are they willing to pay off some of the problems they made for me? Like, since they were making payments when I was younger and didn't need anything, maybe they could just pay for all the problems as if they were their own problems. No? They could maybe go to jail since they made all those problems. Yeah. Like me having to pay for food because you don't know who I am. That's a problem. No, thank you. I don't have any money for you. Okay, let's try that. I need a spatula. It's purple doesn't really go with the theme that it could be like black or white. But I'll take it. Now I need to turn this down to 4. Okay. Becky doesn't know how to make pesto because this is illegal pesto. But I'm going to use it anyway. So if you had parents, would you get off their money as quickly as possible? And then what? Because that's you being a constant ask. Have you ever asked somebody to be a constant ask on their own leverage? Yeah, that's Howard Chait. He's got a bill coming. He doesn't know. He doesn't see it coming. He said, I think you should get off your parents' money. And he has to pay the bill that I am a constant ask, and he's not myself. I have to constantly ask somebody else to give me everything I want and need with my God, with myself. So that means we could have sex and we could be very friendly over we think it's somebody else's money, not mine, not yours, right? Or maybe it's your money to yourself and it's not mine to yourself and we have sex over that, right? I know, but I have alive that it is my money at this point. I am the father. I am in genitals mutilated. And it is my money that way. So, what about all the talk that never happened? Is that why Charles Toe won't leave? Because we could also put the number way up. That I have a hot 1,000 list of boyfriends and they all have to leave each other. They can't just say, well, she doesn't have a home at all. And then you all hold your keys. Well, you don't have a home if you don't have keys, but you have keys. You've been having keys. You didn't give up your keys when you said that. She doesn't have a home. If she doesn't have a home, go to jail and give up your keys. Watch how fast they ask you your address at the jail because they want your keys and the key fit. They want to see if the key will fit for them. Well, because you don't have a clean jail problem. You have to die out of that. Your jails are corrupt. You can't just say, I don't go to jail because it's the same thing as if I'm doing the crime in public. How do you know that? I just went through 20 years of hospitalization of my height at this point because you can see I don't have full height right here. So I had to hospitalize that. I grew my height. Yep. And I'm done now, even though I'm still bigger than I was when I was grown, but not really because it completely died. The bottom of this pot looks like this. I don't want it over the rust. I don't want it on the hot burner. I don't want it in the sink because I'm going to use it again. Yep, that's going back on the hot burner, but that's not clean. So I'll put it over the rust since I look at it anyway. Okay, I'll be right back. Where does this go? Okay, that burner is hot right there. Just leave it. The light is on because the burner is hot. I need something to drink. Are you still plundering the public food? It's in public to show you what you owe God. That's what you can form with Himself. You are formed by Jesus, and you form stock. You form food because you didn't form yourself and you're not formed by me. You form food and you're not supposed to eat it because you form it. And I minimally need that you do. It's just against myself. You make money in the bank and you form food. And you think that it's for you to pay for it and eat it. How are you going to pay for that? You are formed by Jesus because I'm here means that you're past the question that you would eat anything. Yeah. I'm not here that way. Don't want none of your time. Well, I missed the cheese. I sat down and I don't want to get up. There's like a little Parmesan cheese. Well, let me taste it and see if it needs any cheese. It might take a few minutes. Let it cool down, huh? Oh, I'm so anxious. I could eat it. Anxious up there. It's anxious. I'm dying because my height is not tall enough for what I said to the person who opened the door and held it open for me to come in from. I went to the dumpster to dispose of some garbage, food wrappers, bottles from making drinks, not alcoholic drinks, but I was making a yogurt drink, and I made dreamsicles. So I have those food packaging materials that I threw out in the dumpster, and I also threw out some. I had cleaned light cleaning today. It was light cleaning. What I did was I used steaming hot. You want me to go on with my day because I couldn't use the camera because I had both of my hands occupied. And I have my robe in the laundry right now, which is the bucket, the same bucket I used to do all the cleaning. And the bucket on the bottom needs a replacement. I need a new bucket, but I don't want to ask for a new bucket because I don't want to live. Do you want to live with a bucket? Do you have a washer and dryer? It's not yours, it's mine, and you won't get out of my house. I can say that about everybody. How many views are there on this video by the time you can see it? Yep, everybody. If they have a washer and dryer, or if they can use a laundromat, you completely stole it from me. You don't see what's wrong with it. No, you don't know what's wrong with you. Oh, are you all like Richard, letter number letter, or Richard number letter number username, for leaving a comment to myself, something like, uh, "You're the one who shouted." I know you're not allowed to speak in front of me in the afterlife, but we're just establishing here that you don't know how to speak yourself. You don't afford your 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. If you call me you and I'm shouted to you, you know what that is, and you know how to say that, I should, you know, keep that to myself or go to jail or, die. But I'm not really angry in front of you. And I'm not in front of you. You are in my presence is not due. You're due elsewheres. If I'm shouted, that is you needing to be alarmed and run away with yourself. You don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that as you because I'm not you. You are yourself. And you don't want to be yourself. You want to talk to me about myself and you want to live vicariously through me. Yeah, that doesn't exist. I alive you and you're over there. Aren't you tired of eating and telling yourself that's how you can see God in the low world you dwell in? Yeah, but you and who else? I know it's not me. God is big. I'm none higher than he deceased right here. And I am lucky. I'm also Becky. And I don't have the threatening you have. I have to try so hard to see God in the presence of Himself from here. And would He take me back because I am myself if I just don't rise to the highest level of myself? What is if I don't? Because you're so dangerous that if I don't, it looks like I'm going to be hurt. But why aren't you hurt by threatening me that way? If you're in leverage to be on the internet, that includes that you're threatening to make a comment. So you need to break your internet contract by disclosing and reporting that you are not going to make comments on the internet, is why you are going to surrender your internet access. Internet service provider terminated service so that you don't threaten to make a comment to myself. I will punish it no matter what, because somebody made me use the internet when I didn't use it most of my life. If anybody else gets my notifications for Charles Toe account, can you leave this video link in the notifications reply to comment by Richard number letter number or Richard letter number letter? Whoever quickly left this apartment so that they wouldn't threaten my physical safety everywhere I am, you did. You could have been just nice. You could have done some more cleaning around here and been more sorry that you are yourselves not adequate to pay out a key at this time. Now it's looking like I will not accept a key from you because of my walking today. The legs are too short. Walking out by the dumpster area, that's where I noticed my legs are shorter, maybe shorter than they were already. Shorter. Yeah, I already noticed they were shorter. I think today they're shorter. Sorry about the list. I don't actually afford to be elsewhere. This is where I am right now. So why don't the cashiers at the supermarket who receive payment from a customer in line, why don't they just open up their own personal wallet and put the cash right in there? You know, with the kind of things you say out of your food mouth, you have me under the gun. You have guns in public, countless in traffic. Guns in traffic. They stop right here and they're pointed right at me. To relieve you of your worry, I would assume that they would just give me the gun. Yeah. The gun has money on it for estimate to buy a gun could be $1,000 to buy the gun. So that's why the whoever wants to point a gun at me and fire it at me in public, they can give me the gun's value is $1,000 for the gun. But the gun itself is an explosive that's due inside of a walled-in prison with deceased address, and I didn't actually make the gun. Yeah. So I can't accept a gun that way. So you use your gun to remove yourself with itself. Yeah, but I don't want to get shot in public because it's not my gun. Maybe the price of guns should be higher so that people can't buy them. How much do you think a gun is worth? At least as much as a car, right? So, if you think something is yours to yourself, like say the clothes you're wearing, we all know that clothes have price. Well, let's say your clothes are yours to yourself and you consider the price included with that you're wearing the clothes and they fit you and they're yours that way. So when you see this video and you don't know who I am, do you want the clothes or do you want me? I'm going somewhere where we will ask these questions. I'm going somewhere where we will ask these questions and get minimal response because you don't have custody of yourselves right now. Somebody's not alive. If I was to kill Dasani Bottled Water Bottling Company, here it says minerals added for taste. But I refrigerated the water for taste. And what I really need is to drink it at room temperature and that I love it. You need to be purged. Because you need to think that what I say is interesting. And then you have to say with yourself that you're not even there. Because you're not really allowed near me. Do you eat food that somebody else paid for? Well, if you're in a house that parks two cars, you eat food that somebody else paid for. They parked for it. So do you eat it? And when you think about God, you don't trust somebody. What about me? You don't trust me, but I don't park any of your cars. You're doing jails and prisons, so you don't talk to me about your keys. And then you don't have a reason not to trust me. This is Body Armor Energy Drink. Blackout Berry. I'm in the middle of it. In the middle of itself. Esme of Rena Adler. Esme Esmeralda of Rena Adler House in England. One Hazelmere. Hendon, London. Esme Esmeralda. Why do I floss my teeth? What's the answer? I had food in between my teeth. Yeah, I flossed my teeth. There was food in between my teeth that came out with the flossing, and then I brushed my teeth with a toothbrush and toothpaste. And then the teeth were clean that way. That's why I flossed my teeth. How do you say that in Hindi or Telugu? Or what about Sanskrit, huh? I don't know what that sounds like if somebody else says it out loud, and I don't know how to say it with myself. If I speak any of those words and languages, but they're words, so Hindi, Telugu, or Sanskrit. How do I say in Sanskrit, etc.? I floss my teeth because there's food between my teeth. When I floss, the food comes out of the teeth. And then I use a toothbrush and toothpaste and I brush my teeth all the way clean. What would be better? Add mouthwash, definitely. But I would use some mouthwash. Why not? I have to have a lot of it, a lot of extra everything. Never use mouthwash. So, make a note of it. How to say mouthwash in Sanskrit. Yeah. Absolute Dental, Las Vegas, Nevada. Recommendation of purple Listerine mouthwash. I like it even though it's homeless now. They also recommended an electric toothbrush. Yeah, but I don't really need that at this time. It was working out when I was using it, but I went homeless. Yeah. Well, I was using an electric toothbrush. What happened to it? Was I using it at the time? It was a rechargeable electric toothbrush. Yeah. I'm not using it now, unless you want me to, but I would rather have a new house and I'll park a couple of cars that I don't drive. And I would like an electric rechargeable toothbrush. I would do that for Absolute Dental, but I need the house. It has to be within 1 hour's walking distance from where I am now. And then what kind of toothpaste? Well, I would like a new kind of toothpaste that I find delightful. And then maybe another kind of mouthwash since I'm done with the purple Listerine. I'm going to die out of forms, but I just want you to know that I can afford to love everything that God loves about Himself in myself, which is limited at this time, but elsewhere I am omnipotent. I am omnipotent here, but you don't know it. That's not omnipotent from your point of view, but it is from mine.